For joining us. We're here with Jen Richardson, 2001 grad, probably one of the most historic softball players, pitchers in Notre Dame history, I would guess. I guess I'm not great on my softball history, but
there's been a lot of really good pitchers to come through.
In my humble opinion, I think probably the best pitcher we've ever had there. So, Jen, graduated in '01. You know, you're the co-executive producer at Jimmy Kimmel. Obviously have had a crazy, amazing career. So tell me a little bit about, post-graduation and what you're up to now.
Yeah, so after I graduated, I came back to my hometown of Southern California, and I started working back in the entertainment industry. Not back, but in the entertainment industry. My first job out of school was a PA position at Fox Sports, and that's where I met Jimmy Kimmel. And that was the year before he was going to start his late night talk show. So then at that point, he left Fox to start his show, and I went with him, and the rest is history. I did that in 2003, and we're in 2020, and went from an assistant to one of the co-executive producers. It's great. I love it. Best show to work on, best person to work for, great team of people. I couldn't be happier.
Dang, that's an incredible career. Talk about what it was like, over your 17 years, kind of climbing that ladder of success, and how did you kind of advance in your career?
Yeah, I think a lot of it I would attribute my success to like my work ethic, and that started when I was very young. That's something my parents instilled in me as a child. Like, I always wanted to get straight A's. I wanted to be the best pitcher. I wanted to be the best at everything I could be. I just worked very hard, and I think that work ethic translated into my career. And I started off, as I said, as an executive assistant on the show to Jimmy and our other executive producer, went into the field department as an associate producer, went to a field producer, working on all the comedy and bits that we did on the show, both pre-tape and live, and then grew within the show all the way up into the co-executive position I'm in, co-executive producer position I'm in now. And I think, again, I think there's some things that you develop as a student and a student athlete, especially, that you learn a lot about balance and commitment and tenacity and work ethic and all those skill sets that I developed over the 22 years preceding my start at Kimmel has definitely given me this skill set I needed to be successful in my career. And I think that's how I would attribute my success.
That's awesome. Well, congrats. Obviously, a super successful show. Jimmy's doing amazing things. So we're happy for you, all of us back home at Notre Dame.
Thanks.
Okay, so I know you've got 3 little ones at home right now. You're still filming the show. How are you creating a routine given, obviously the stay at home and kids running around? Tell me about that.
It's crazy, to say the least. Like I said, I have a kindergartner, I have a preschooler, and I have a 1-year-old. So, and my husband works. And so the two of us are balancing childcare and teaching our children as well as getting our work done. So the show does shoot. We're shooting our show remotely. We've been doing that since like after the first week of being in quarantine. And so basically I have a set up in my office with a giant screen so I can see all the different cameras and the shots. We're working with the producers and the writers and everybody remotely. Most of the time, I'm on the floor on my laptop with my 1-year-old playing with her toys. She's my new assistant. And then I've got my kindergartner next to me working on some reading or math worksheets. And this school is great. We're in Los Angeles. So our elementary school has a really good plan in place. They give us some online courses to work with the kids. But, I always have respected, teachers and how much work they put in, but even more so now that I have to juggle everything together, it's a lot of work. And I come from a couple aunts and uncles and stuff who were teachers. So I've reached out to them a few times to be like, what do I do? Because the problem is like these kids, they don't want to listen to me as mom. Now they really don't want to listen to me as a teacher. So how do I get them to do anything? And it's funny because my kindergarten will sometimes go, okay, Mrs. Mom, like I'm mocking me, like I'm his teacher.
They got to figure it out though. Oh, that's awesome. All right, we're going to move into a couple of rapid fire questions. So number 1, what's your favorite color?
Purple.
Oh, I don't get purple very often. Very nice. Favorite movie?
Favorite movie? Favorite Christmas movie, I'd have to say Christmas Vacation and Love Actually. Those are like my 2.
Okay.
Favorite regular movie? I mean, I love Field of Dreams, and that's not a cliche because I like baseball and stuff, as well as League of Their Own. So I have like, we used to joke about this in college. Sorry, this is supposed to be rapid fire, but we'd be like, what's your favorite movie? Top 5, movies.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say Field of Dreams, League of Their Own, Love Actually, and Christmas Vacation.
It's all good. You're allowed to have cliches too. It's totally
Thanks.
fine. Yeah. All right. Let's see. First concert you went to?
I can't remember.
That's a hard question.
Well, I'll do this. The first concert I went to at Notre Dame was U2. And that was pretty awesome.
Ooh, very nice. Yeah. Okay, we'll take that. Name a food that you don't think you will ever eat.
Venison.
Not a hunter?
Not a big meat eater.
Okay.
And definitely not game.
How do you drink your coffee?
I like it cold with a little milk.
Okay.
Some sugars sometimes.
Okay. All right. If you could go anywhere right now, and granted we would be allowed to travel, where would you go?
I think I'd go to a beach in Hawaii and just relax.
Mm-hmm.
That would be nice.
Okay. All right. Cliche Notre Dame question. What's your favorite Notre Dame memory?
There's a lot. I think being a student athlete, you have the memories with your teammates and having that experience. You have the memories of like going to football games and the tailgating. They all kind of mix. For me, I think number one would be playing with my sister and getting to go to college with Jess. I think that was amazing. She was a 2003 grad at Notre Dame, also a pitcher. And I think to me, that is the number one greatest memory was getting to go to school and playing with Jess.
Do you think she would say the same thing? That's awesome.
I don't know. I hope so.
Okay, final one. We're ending on a bit of a serious note here, but obviously, a lot of seniors, high school, college, their years were cut short. Student athletes, their seasons were cut short. What piece of advice do you have to offer those that just obviously have to deal with this incredible blow to their final years?
I cannot imagine. I feel very sad for a lot of those student athletes who never got to finish out their career. A lot of the winter sports, the basketball players who were just about to enter postseason. Speaking from a spring sport myself, having played softball there, like all the softball players were just getting into conference. And I think I would have been pretty devastated if my senior year was taken from me. It's especially for female athletes in particular who won't necessarily, and many actually athletes who won't go pro in their sport. This was the end of their career and they didn't get to finish on their terms, which is a bummer. But that said, as we all know from being athletes, it's the adversity that helps you grow that much more. When you're winning, it's easy to be a good winner, but it's a true test of character to see how you are when you're losing. And I think this was a big loss for a lot of people. But that said, I don't want anyone to feel like that should be their lasting memory of their entire athletic experience, their athletic career. Hold your head high, be proud of yourself. You should be. You accomplished so much. And specifically to Notre Dame, I thought about it too. I was thinking because for softball, we graduated remotely because we were in postseason. And I was sitting in the hotel room at the Hampton Inn watching my graduation on television. And President Bush was giving the commencement speech, and we all went to go play a game. And then later that day, we came back and graduated in a conference room in Iowa City at a Hampton Inn. And I thought, you know what, that was so special and so unique. And we all made the most of that moment. And I think that's the best advice I can give all the graduating seniors who aren't coming back, or even if they are, to make the most of this moment. There's very few times in your life that you are forced to stay home and you can't do other things. Like I know personally, being a mom, I'm pulled in so many different directions, and we have activities for the kids, you have work, you have responsibilities. And I think this kind of gave everybody a little bit nice reset to just focus on really what's important. Take care of yourself if you can in the situation. Spend quality time with your family, connect with people like via Zoom or FaceTime or whatever ways you can that you can't normally do that because everyone's got somewhere to be. I think it's a good reminder to slow down and just appreciate the moment. And I think the best advice I could give for everyone, as long as this keeps going on, is to do that. And don't look at it as a negative. Maybe try to find a silver lining in all of this.
Yeah. such a positive spin on it. That's what I love about you. You're such a positive, high energy person, and clearly had success at Notre Dame and just crushing it in your career now. So, you know, your Notre Dame family is proud of you, and can't thank you enough, Jen. I know you're extremely busy with life and work and family. So thanks again for spending some time with me today, and we wish you the best.
Thank you, Melissa, and thank you to everyone there, and stay safe, everybody, and go Irish.
Go Irish.